Hi, hello, how are you all today? Or as some would say,
Hey, Vsauce. 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 Vsauce.
Vsauce! But what the heck is a Vsauce? According to Wikipedia, Vsauce, or is a YouTube brand created by internet celebrity Michael Stevens. The channel features videos on scientific, psychological, and mathematical or philosophical topics, as well as gaming, technology, popular culture, and other interest subjects. We've all seen the videos, such as, what if everyone jumped at once? And why do we kiss? After such massive hits, the Vsauce brand has become basically synonymous with one Michael Stevens. But who is this man? Vsauce Michael is known for many things. He is a living, breathing meme, a world-class beard grower. He is dadliness incarnate, but most importantly, he is founder and mastermind behind the Vsauce endeavor. However, he's not really a scientist. Don't take my word for it.
What I do is celebrate what real scientists do. I'm not a scientist. I'm not even a teacher. I am a entertainer that happens to, reveal what we are, somewhat certain about the universe.
Vsauce Michael has a bachelor's degree in psychology and English, so he's not like, say, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Thank God.
I understand.
Okay, so that is how I.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
But in Harry Potter, the
two is I think it's
if you value mountain climbing,
people to just come in. And
is that any worse than a mountain than a sunk?
Also, Vsauce is not like other education channels on YouTube. Veritasium, Smarter Every Day, Minute Physics, all great educational scientific content, but markedly distinct from Vsauce because at the end of the day, Vsauce Michael is an entertainer, but a very particular one at that. It is usually the case in edutainment that entertainment is used to coat the educational content in order to help people digest it.
Check out the smoking hot abacus of sex.
Meanwhile, Vsauce Michael uses the concepts, the information, the questions, the ideas, the learning as the actual entertainment. Because Vsauce is just as much about finding questions than about finding answers. Vsauce is not about delivering a message as much as it is an exercise in curiosity. Let me explain. A typical Vsauce episode starts with what I like to call a hook. It's quite clever. These are questions that you can't unask, like which way is down, or how big can a person get, or how to count past infinity. Merely by reading the title, now you think, okay, now I have to know. However, when you start watching the video, instead of giving you a one-stop, one-way trip to the answer, Vsauce gives us a playground where Michael does a little something I like to call intellectual parkour. And by that I mean,
the goal is to get from point A to point B as creatively as possible.
Thank you, Jim Halbert.
Parkour!
Tangents are roped from hither and thither, yet they never feel off topic because they serve the purpose of painting an entire panorama from a single idea. It's about exploring the ideas and their nature in order to expand on them and subsequently find new ideas, and thus the true, innovative, reproductive power of curiosity is in full swing. The way Michael wanders around a topic is how he gets us to truly wonder. It's not about sterilely and bluntly transferring information from one party to another, but rather playing and tinkering with the ideas themselves. It's the reason we don't have a show called Michael's Tools, but rather
Michael's Toys.
Wait. Why? Why would anyone do this? Why would a channel cover topics from the history of Comic Sans to the nature of the fabric of space-time, from What would a human taste like to proving mathematical equations? Why? Is the question of all questions. Let's go a bit deeper. Vsauce understands that ideas can ever be only as good as the words that represent them. This is why Vsauce Michael has an affinity and attraction for dictionaries and vocabulary. But there is one word that Michael seems to favor.
Curious. 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 Curious.
According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, curious means to be marked by a desire to investigate or learn. Alchemy describes a legendary artifact known as the Philosopher's Stone, which could grant eternal youth and turn anything into gold. Some say we've already found the true Philosopher's Stone. Science. It's our most valuable tool, having brought us penicillin, harnessed electricity, genetically engineered food, and connected us through the internet, extended our lifespans, increased economic production, and generally improved our lives. However, the curious scientist prefers not the fames and the riches of the Philosopher's Stone in favor of their desire of learning truth. There is something undeniably passionate and deeply desirable, and dare I say, sexy, about getting to know things. The dictionary seems to agree with me. We crave understanding and we lust for answers, just like we desire knowledge of another in romance. You just want to get to know everything about him. In the same way, those who are curious have a romantic relationship with the universe itself. Granted, the universe will inevitably hurt you, beat you, oppress you, kill you, eat you, and dissolve everything you ever known and loved into a fine subatomic powder. But despite that, we can search and find, learn and grow, experience and enjoy. We can apply, extrapolate, and project, implement our ideas onto the world. And that knowledge leads to more knowledge. If this is true, then the world isn't so cold and cruel as it might first seem. The universe speaks in subtle, implicit ways. Throughout history, we've slowly mapped our observable reality in a matter of trial and error. We've found out in more ways than one that all ideas are not created equal. Certain procedures will never produce certain outcomes, and other procedures will always produce certain outcomes. Ultimately, we live in a world largely gridlocked by rules. Boundaries may seem like a bummer. Constraints may sound like a drag. But rules can actually be quite radical and mathematical.
In mathematics, we get to make the rules, pick the axioms. We can even decide what kinds of reasoning are allowed or not. And after doing so, we get to play around and see what happens. Mathematics is the playing of games. Science is finding out what game you're playing. And we still don't know what game we have found ourselves in, but we should keep wondering and never be happy until we get answers that satisfy us, that satisfy us, that satisfy us, that satisfy us.
To all scientific endeavors and methods, there are certain presuppositions or rules which mainly revolve around the idea that there is an objective reality shared by all rational observers. This, in turn, is great news because it really means that all rational observers, we, are just one simple mindset away from one united, universal game. Truly, we are all gamers in the game of the universe. I believe Vsauce is a celebration of this idea. Vsauce is a display of Michael's wonderful mind wanderings through this shared reality of ours, from math, science, space, time, space-time, geography, video games, history, zoology, language, fonts, aliens, butts, numbers, awkwardness, infinity, perception, complex mathematical theories, quantum mechanics, and even Mario farts. To quote Vsauce.com, Vsauce proves that even a seemingly simple or mundane topic will become utterly fascinating and mind-blowing when you take the time to look closer. No topic is too big or small. If it's in the universe, it's worth exploring. And as always, thanks Vsauce. Thank you, Michael. Not bad.